Big Ben is the name of the great bell housed within the Elizabeth Tower at the Palace of Westminster. The tower was completed in 1859 and stands beside the British Parliament. Its story begins years earlier, after a devastating fire in 1834 destroyed most of the original palace. In 1835, plans were set to rebuild it. Sir Charles Barry was chosen to lead the new design. Working alongside him was Augustus Pugin, just 29 years old, whose passion for Gothic architecture shaped the tower's intricate style. Construction began in 1840. The House of Lords opened in 1852, followed by the House of Commons in 1856. In 1859, the tower and clock were completed, and the great bell, Big Ben, was installed. The entire Palace of Westminster was finished by 1876. To construct the tower, steam-powered winches were used to lift materials from the inside, without scaffolding. In 1835, Barry enlisted Edmund Beckett Denison to design the clock mechanism. Denison, later known as Lord Grimthorpe, introduced a groundbreaking system, the double three-legged gravity escapement, which kept the clock accurate despite weather and structural shifts. The mechanism was built by Edward John Dent and completed by his stepson, Frederick Dent, after Edward's death. Together, they ensured the highest standards in materials and craftsmanship. The clock was designed to stay accurate within a single second per day. Under normal conditions, it held steady within 2 to 3 seconds. Still, it faced challenges. Temperature swings, wind pressure, and snow buildup could shift the timing. Barometric pressure had an effect too, and adjustments were made using small Victorian coins placed on the pendulum to fine-tune its rhythm by fractions of a second. Power came from gravity. Heavy weights descended through the tower, driving the mechanism. Every week, these weights are still wound up by hand, 3 times a week, in a process that takes around 90 minutes. In 1913, an electric motor was installed to assist the chiming, striking, and going trains. But the clock continues to rely on its original weight-driven system. In the 1960s, electronic monitoring brought even greater accuracy, syncing the clock with atomic time standards. Through it all, Big Ben has remained one of the most reliable public clocks in the world. But even legends falter. On August 5, 1976, a mechanical failure triggered by a worn fly fan arbor caused a catastrophic breakdown. A 1.5-ton weight slipped its control. A 4-ton counterweight followed. The result was a violent explosion of gears and shafts. The clock fell silent for 9 months. A new chiming train had to be built from scratch. There's a small fracture in the bell, which gives it its signature rich, resonant tone, a sound both familiar and unique. During World War II, the tower was hit by a bomb. Though the exterior took damage, the bells and mechanism were untouched. Inside the tower, there's even a prison room, last used in 1880 to detain an MP who refused to swear allegiance to Queen Victoria. That authority dates back to 1415, and technically it still exists today. Between 2017 and 2022, the tower underwent a full restoration, replacing all the opal glass in the clock faces. Before 1880, Britain had no standard time. Each city set its clocks by the sun. Noon in London wasn't noon in Bristol or Edinburgh. With over 300 local time zones, train travel and communication were chaotic. The introduction of Greenwich Mean Time unified the country, and Big Ben became its voice, ringing out in harmony with the tick of a modern, coordinated nation.